Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paul, and I am a nerd, and you are here for the November 2017 PracticeMaster Virtual User Group meeting, where today we are talking about rearranging your QuickClicks, something that everybody's got on their Christmas list, I'm sure, and dialing the phone. I'll take that topic. Without any further ado, I am going to press all the right buttons, trying to remember what they are. I'm getting very old, you know, and get to a point where Mary Jo can start talking about rearranging QuickClicks in PracticeMaster. Mary Jo?
Okay, so most of us know what QuickClicks are over here on the right, and that each different file that we're in, right now we're in the client file, has its own set of QuickClicks. And you might even know that you can collapse some of these sections of QuickClicks, I can't say that today, and get these things out of the way. So now I've got everything collapsed, and now I've just got a very short little list here. And then if I wanted to go ahead and change a column layout or look at that, I could come in and I could do that here. But what a lot of people don't know is that we can also change the order in which these headings are. So if I wanted to put column layout to the top, I could do that. And I can also have a much better control over the order and even what shows within each section. And so this is a user by user setting that I'm going to show you what you can do here. So if one user wants to see the report option here and another one doesn't, we've got those capabilities of being very specific. Another thing that is helpful, if we customize the current view and we want a global standard and we don't want everybody going in there to change that customize that current view, that can be taken off the list and hidden so that they can't do that. So on a user by user basis. Again, very helpful in limiting what people can see and what they can't, and just cleaning up the list that you have here. So let's go out and see where we do that. A couple ways to get in here. I could be on any one of these lists and just click on, for example, Manage Filters, or I could be in Column Layout and click on Manage Column Layout. It doesn't matter if I'm in any one of these lists and click on the Manage function. This opens up my Manage QuickClicks menu for the client file. Now remember, the changes that I'm doing in here are only in the client file. So if I needed to change the QuickClicks menu in the calendar file, for instance, I would need to go to the calendar file and do a manage filter or manage column layout or whatever in the calendar file, and then I would open that set of examples for my QuickClicks. We're going to focus on the client file right now, and we're going to go into the client list function. So first off, if you want everybody to always just see active only, and you don't want them to be able to see all clients, if I right-click on all clients, there's an option to hide that function for whatever user I'm logged in as. So for this user, if I hide, the all clients will no longer be an option that they will see. Now we're not deleting it out of the whole database or anything like that, and if for some reason that user does need to see it again later, you can always come back in and you can unhide that particular area. We also can add folders. So in a section like all clients or active only, that doesn't make much sense. But when I get down here to filters, for example, I have quite a few filters. Or I might have lots of different quick views. Or I may have lots of workflows. And it can get quite lengthy in here. So maybe what I want to do is add a folder structure to group these workflows. So in that instance, all I need to do is just right-click on the Manage Workflows, and I can add a folder to that section and give it a name. We'll call it Test. And then if I wanted to put in the test workflows, I'm just simply dragging them up and putting them into that particular folder. And so now I've got inside the test folder 2 of the test workflows that I have. So that's one area. I also can organize these within. So if I have a file I want to add the email subject to be up at the top of my list here underneath my folders, I can drag and drop the order within a certain subset here. And then I also can change the order of these headings. So if I wanted to have, I'm going to close them up for a minute so we can get them all out here. Oh, there we go. And column layout. So maybe I want column layout closer to the top of the list because I'm always clicking on that. Or perhaps filter. Those are two big ones that maybe you're always clicking on and moving. And you don't want to have to scroll down through your QuickClicks to get to it. I can also grab a hold of the column layout and move it up here to the top and put that on my list. Now, I'm going to get out of my QuickClicks and close it. And now we can see that I have my column layout up at the top. And then if I go into my filters, I think it was filters, no, it's workflows, I'm sorry, workflows. There's my test folder, and there's my two test ones that I put underneath there inside of that folder. And I can close the folder or open the folder again. So you can really clean up what you're seeing in QuickClicks so it's not so overwhelming and having all of this stuff out here, for especially for users that don't need this. We have a test Ken, and maybe Ken is the only user that really needs to see the test Ken workflow. We could hide it from all the other users, and only Ken, when he logs in, would see that.
No, it tests Ken, so everybody else needs to click it so they can test Ken.
Oh, so
and
that we
Ken's
can
the only
see
one
if
that
he's...
should be hidden for, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, that's weird.
That's Paul trying to be funny.
Yeah, okay, you just lost us all. No, just kidding. So anyway, that is what we're doing here. We're just showing you that you can have control. And again, if you go into the calendar file, you know, and you look at that QuickClicks, you again would have the control to do that set. They're not shared. These are their own sections and sets of QuickClicks for each area. You'd have one for journal and for fees and so on. So you can move and order those any way that you like. Well,
that's awesome. Even with that bad joke. I'm going to talk about dialing the phone. Now, first off, I'm going to take you in here, and I'm going to show you how this works. We're not going to talk about actually setting up the dialing yet. I want to show you why you would want to set that up. And these things that I'm going to show you, they don't have to be used in conjunction with actually dialing the phone. You'll see that they have great utility whether you're actually going to dial the phone from the computer or not. So let's go to, oh, I don't know, Michael Larson. And let's just go into one of his matters. And so now you'll notice that next to every phone field is a little button that looks kind of like a phone. I guess that's supposed to be a phone. It's a very old style phone, but we won't go there. And you may also notice when you're on the snapshots, which is this little part down at the bottom that changes as you highlight a different record, that these phone numbers are links, okay? So, and maybe you've done this before. Maybe you've said, what would happen if I click this? So let's do that. When you click this, the PracticeMaster Dialer comes up. It knows that the contact whose telephone number I clicked in is Linda Purdue. See, Linda Purdue is the matter contact. Michael Larson's the client, but Linda Purdue is the matter contact. It knows that it was the mobile phone. It is giving me the option to start the timer and to do so for a client, and it's going to default to the client that you're on, but that does not necessarily have to be the client that gets billed. And more on this in a second, we can also use the Windows Phone Dialer to dial the phone. I'm going to uncheck that because I don't have a phone dialer set up, but we'll talk about that, okay? And then we also have the option to say, don't show this again when clicking the dialer button. I don't recommend that because when you click the dialer button, you want to have control over what's going to happen when you say OK. So each time you want to have the ability to change one of these things before you click OK. But watch, I click OK. It starts a timer record, and you'll see it over here. It is under my PracticeMaster right there. You'll notice the timer's already going for Michael Larson. No description in there. It knows what the matter is. It knows what person I'm calling, Linda Purdue. And I can go in later and fill in the description and bill for this entry. It's already started the timer, so it's timing this. It knows that if I hadn't been talking and if the phone had actually been dialed, that I've been talking on the phone now for about 30 seconds. And it's also opened up a special type of journal record that's called a phone journal record, where I can indicate that I spoke with somebody or returned a call or left a message or left a voicemail. I can, it's tracking the time that I did this. It knows the date, it knows the client, it knows the contact, it knows which phone number I called, and it knows it was me, and all I have to do is type some stuff here and maybe check a box to indicate what I did. So if I call this guy and I get voicemail, leave a voicemail message, that might be all that I do is check this and just put a quick message in there about what I did. Now these phone tasks will then show up in the client file. They can either show up on a separate tab or just under the journal tab. If you're familiar with the tabs that are related in the client file to the journal records, you can have one for email, you can have one for phone, you can have one that's journal that kind of just lumps them all together, and you can choose which of those you want. But this is a special phone journal record. Now, once we're done, of course, we would go into the timer and stop it, indicate what we wanted the billing entry to be, and it would adopt the language that I had put in here, but I could then change that when I convert it, and then I can convert that to a fee. So I have a timer record that's tied to the phone task that can be converted to a fee, and I have a place to record all my notes about the phone call, and the best part, which we saved for last, is it can even dial the phone. Now, tell me more about that, Paul. Well, you need usually a phone system that can be dialed from, and that usually means you need a voice over IP or a VoIP phone, which a lot of offices these days have. So how do you set it up? Well, usually you call us or you call your phone guy. Usually if you call your phone guy, he'll need our help in getting it integrated with PracticeMaster. But all you need to do is set up the phone dialer software, the driver it's called, that lets your computer know that when the Windows dialer is invoked, that it should use the phone that's sitting on your desk. I'm not going to get into much more detail because that part varies from one phone system to the next, but the bottom line is you go into, you install this driver and you configure it, and usually that's all you need, and it becomes the default Windows phone dialer. And the rest is PracticeMaster just says, hey, he told me to dial the phone, so I'm going to dial the phone. So get with your phone guy, get with us or STI. They can help you with this as well, the people that make tabs for you in PracticeMaster. Get that phone dialer set up on your desktop. It does need to be set up for each person that's going to use this because they each have their own extension that has its own username and password, and this is all tied to your phone system. Get that software on your machine and installed. Get it so that you can dial the phone with it, and then all you need to do is come into PracticeMaster and do what I just showed you. You either click on one of the hyperlinks that's in the snapshot. I'm going to close up this timer and get out of this record. So you either click on one of these hyperlinks, or you go into the record that you want, has the phone number that you want to dial from, and you click on the little phone that's next to the number. Either of those will cause the dialer to come up. Mary Jo's pointing out that we can also use dial phone over here. All of these things are going to do the same thing. They're going to bring up this phone dialer, and you're going to be able to bill for your time and keep track of the note and have it dial the phone for you. Now, as I said when we started, we have a lot of people that use this and don't have it dial the phone. Why? Because it's handy. It records which number you dialed because it knows which button you clicked on. It starts the phone task, the phone journal item. It starts the timer. It still has all those benefits, whether it's going to dial the phone or not. You may still have to pick up the phone and dial 402-475-9961 or whichever number it is that you want to dial, but the rest of that stuff's going to happen. It's just kind of icing on the cake that if you have a VoIP phone system, a voice over IP, VoIP, VoIP phone system, which, as I said, many of them are these days, that it can also dial the phone. And that is that. Next month, in our PracticeMaster Virtual User Group meeting, we will be talking about calendar access rights and the preview window settings. There's some stuff in that preview window that a lot of people just glaze right over and don't pay any attention to, and it can be very beneficial in how you interact with the preview window. And then Mary Jo is going to talk about controlling who can do things in your PracticeMaster calendar. Of course, it wouldn't be a virtual user group meeting if I didn't take you out here to Attorney Computer Systems PracticeMasterDialer.com. And of course, you'll notice that I have emphasized this last S in the word systems, because without it, who knows where you're going to go. If you go there and hover over the videos button and go directly to a certain video title, or just click the videos menu option and get to this separate page, you will find all 6 of our video titles. We have 4 of them that are live events. I give a webinar each month that we call the Coffee Pot webinar that deals with some sort of an add-on product, something that adds value or enhances the value of PracticeMaster or tabs or World Docs. We also have our virtual user group meetings. You are currently in the PracticeMaster virtual user group meetings, but we also have them for tabs and World Docs. And then we have our 2 pre-recorded video titles. Mary Jo has her eBytes video series where she records 1 each month, 1 for tabs, 1 for World Docs, 1 for PracticeMaster. And they're little short 2-3 minute videos that take something really cool that we can explain very quickly and puts it right out there for you. Or if it's something that's broader in nature and requires a little bit more time to explain, we usually will cover that in what we call a Paul and Mary Jo show, which is just a longer format production, and usually 10, 15, 20 minutes, where we take a broader topic and really take a deep dive and try to cover everything about that broader topic in one show. If you are interested in any of these titles, you just click more info and you'll get to a list of all the pre-recorded events. Let's go, for instance, to the PracticeMaster Virtual User Group meeting and take a deep dive into this. This is the PracticeMaster Virtual User Group meeting page. This is the description of the page and what the PracticeMaster Virtual User Group meetings are. This is our next event, description of what's going to be covered. 2 links to register. They are identical, except they look different. One is just the date and time, and the other actually is the exact link that you're going to. They both go to the same place. If you want to sign up, all you need to do is click one of those links. I will emphasize, if you're not going to be around and you're still interested in the topic, sign up anyways, and then Patty will email you immediately upon the publishing of the recorded version. So you'll be the first on your block to know that that webinar is out there for you to watch later. Now, if we scroll down, we will find the one we're currently in, which it says is in post-production because we have not put it up yet. And then we have recorded versions of every other video that we've done, every other PracticeMaster Virtual User Group meeting. We have them for tabs and World Docs. Everything we've ever done in a live event is recorded, at least for the last, Mary Jo, 8 years since we've been recording these. So we literally have almost 1,000 videos on our website. All dealing with how to use and get the most out of PracticeMaster tabs and World Docs. We have a search feature if you don't want to browse, but as you can see, everything's there, and you can just kind of browse through them if you'd like as well. They are available to you 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so please take advantage of them. And in the meantime, we will see you next month. Everybody have a good day. Bye-bye.